How you guys doing? This is Trajan. We're talking about Venom, number 162. This is part of the Poison-X storyline, part 3 of, I believe, 5. I reviewed parts 1 and 2. Part 1 I hated. Part 2, I hated it a little bit less, but I still didn't really like it. It's written by Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn is a average at best writer. He can tell a story. He knows how to tell a good story. He knows how to craft a good story, but he can't put the finishing touches on it. Everything he writes just seems so bland and so boring, and this is no different. There are two interesting things in this issue, though. Number one is there's a really cool twist at the end that I won't ruin. The second thing is that Venom, everything Venom says is right. Just to catch you guys up with the story a little bit, last time we saw our heroes, the X-Men and Venom, were with Hayes Manser, who's basically the Cad Bane, Star Wars reference, of his world. He's selling the symbiotes off to the highest bidders, and the X-Men tried to stop him, basically. They had a fight, and the X-Men came out on top, but in the process of this, the X-Men became bonded with symbiotes, and so now they have the powers of the symbiotes. Now, given that this is part of the Venomverse, the extended Venomverse, this makes complete sense. Jean Grey sees a problem with killing, but she has no issue basically going into people's minds and completely invading their privacy. She picks and chooses what morals she wants to instill, and she picks and chooses it to when it's convenient for her, and that's just trash. Be consistent. That's the biggest thing. That's why I kind of like Venom the most, because at least he's consistent with everything. The symbiote has very clear and defined goals, and Eddie Brock has very clear and defined goals, and sometimes those goals don't mesh with each other, and that's where the conflict begins. And then at a certain point, Venom actually brings up, you guys say that you're the good guys, you guys say that you're doing all the right things, and yet you're taking orders from Magneto. And Jean Grey says, oh, well, you know, people change. And Venom's like, no, come on, you're not that naive. People don't change unless you force them to. Now, that's a very cynical worldview, but I actually side with Venom on this one. The X-Men Blue, one of the biggest issues with it is that it's like professing just this really blatant, just moral high ground that these are kids, they're idealistic, but it's not idealism in the sense of look at what the good and the bad of idealism is. It's just look at all the good that these kids are going to do. It's basically Champions. That's why Champions isn't doing well. And then in the end, you just look like a hypocrite, because in these issues, the X-Men Blue team look like complete hypocrites in everything that they do. Some of the bad things in this book, anytime Killer Thrill is on the scene talking to like her henchmen, they're just so goddamn lame. And then she has Scott Summers' father, and just nobody cares. Killer Thrill is probably the worst villain in this goddamn story arc. It's just trash. Some of the good, the art is pretty cool, and actually Scott Summers has some pretty cool scenes when he bonded with the symbiote. But of course you can say, oh, it's because the symbiote made him cool, which, yeah, sure, I guess. So yeah, there's a really cool twist at the end involving Cad Bane, aka Hayes Manser. I'm not gonna spoil it because this is actually, if you're into the Venomverse storyline, it's a recommend. The story itself is actually fine. It's just the finishing touches and the execution of it that leaves a lot to be desired. But if you're a Venom fan, you gotta roll with this Venomverse storyline, because this is gonna be the biggest thing in Venom for a long time. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Are you picking this up? Are you guys gonna read X-Men Blue after this? Because I don't think anybody should ever read X-Men Blue. X-Men Blue is so bad. And it's getting canceled. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at Trajan Channel. I'll catch you guys later.